let's go to Gavin Newsom, page 8. Everybody, if you're listening to this, it's like you're at church. Go to page 8, please, of your notes. Go to Psalms 8, line 6, right? Okay, here we go. Governor Newsom has 2 potential challengers for governor as recall petition nears 1.5 million names. Supporters have until March 17, 2021 to collect 709 signatures. That's 1.495 million, 709 signatures needed to trigger a recall election. As of February 3rd, organizers announced that they had collected more than 1.3 million signatures. By the way, they've already collected over 1.3 million. They only need 190,000.
It started in like November, December.
That's a scary thought. That's too quick. California's one of the 19 states.
That might have been a little, like a day or two old. I think they're up to 1.4 now.
I think you're right. Mario, can you pull up to see how many signatures they've gotten for, what do you call it? For recall Newsom? Yeah. California is one of the 19 states that allows for citizens to recall elected officials. According to the California Secretary of State website, the petition needs at least 1.495 million, or 12% of the 12 million votes in the last election for governor. On Monday, conservative commentator Mike Cernovich announced that he would run against Newsom if a recall vote is successful in the state. Cernovich announced came during a live stream video posted on his Twitter account where he said, the question is why I would run for governor, and the answer is pretty simple. In addition to Cernovich, billionaire venture capitalist Shamat has suggested that he plans to run against Newsom. Shamat has yet to publicly announce his bid for governor, but he has been very critical of Newsom and has shown his support for the recall petition. Is this well-deserved for Newsom to be recalled, kicked out, and not be the governor of California? What are your thoughts?
I mean, we've been talking. You're raised in California.
24 years.
Your mom is from California. I know you're from Norway, but you got
family in California.
Cali roots. I'm a Florida boy, so I'm not really too up to speed on California politics. But we've been, since the basically start of the podcast, since everything that started with the pandemic, we've been covering what Gavin Newsom has been doing, and it hasn't been pretty there. We jokingly called him the U-Haul salesperson of the year. Everyone's getting the hell out of California, and it seems like they are getting very, very, very close to this recall for the election. My question is this, just to kind of give the other side of the coin, because it'd be very easy to bash Newsom. You see on even on SNL, they call him an inflatable sex doll. He's just kind of like this robotic. He kind of reminds me of, speaking of Michael Burry, who plays Michael Burry in the movie? Christian Bale. Christian Bale's character in, help me out here, American Psycho with the hair gel. Kind of has that vibe going on. You tell me. But where I want to go is this:
I can see that.
You can see that a little bit, right?
That, yeah.
Just kind of like this soulless sex doll kind of a guy. Mario, you might want to pull this up if you can. Gavin Newsom approval ratings in California. I'd love to see if we can find that data. Obviously, he's a very unlikable person. He's getting a lot of hate. I saw a person just basically mocking him on YouTube yesterday, and it was actually spot on. I want to know when this election would be and what his current approval ratings are, because you might get 1.5 people to be a part of this recall, but if he has high approval ratings in the state of California, it might sort of be a moot point. Do we have something here? Does that say 52%?
That's job approval.
Job approval rating. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So his job approval rating is 52%. That's not horrible. Bill de Blasio's is way lower than that in New York. So I mean, are you a little shocked right now? If you had to guess, where did you think his job approval would be? In the 30s?
At least
maybe
no
the
higher
40s?
than 40s, yeah.
I mean, Trump hovered somewhere between 40 and 45, 38 and 45 his whole presidency. I don't think he ever cracked 50. Newsom, we talk a lot of trash about him.
Yeah.
And I'll give it up to you now, but he's still above 50%. So I'm actually surprised to see that's where he is. So meaning, for all the pandemic stuff that he's doing, all the stuff, the U-Haul jokes, there's a large contingency that says, no, he's doing a pretty good job.
Here's a question for you. What is the most liberal state in America?
Boom, you got it. Cali. Maybe Boston, maybe Massachusetts, maybe Hawaii, California.
California is probably the most liberal state in America. Okay, think about San Francisco.
Yeah.
Think about lots of areas in LA. Think about Santa Monica. Think about California's the most liberal state.
But not way up north, right? I mean,
that's when it gets a little bit more conservative.
That's
but that's a different
or even
story.
closer to the east side of the state near Nevada.
I agree,
what
but it's probably the most liberal. It's the highest taxes in America. Number one, New York is I think number 8. The best taxes in America is Tennessee. But so if California was a country, California wouldn't be America. If California was a country, California would be France. California would be a more liberal politically, which means 50% rating is not surprising to me, because it's like, yeah, that's the country where most of them want more social programs. Most of them want more of somebody on that side. So yes, of course, it would be a 50%. You're
not surprised by the 50%.
Zero. That doesn't do anything for me. That doesn't do anything for me. All it does is a simple thing. Look, right here, there's a guy last year, right, this community right across, it's called Royal Palm. Yeah. Literally 200 yards from us, right? Royal Palm. Okay, one guy, his name is David, I believe. Do you know how much he sold in the last 12 months in Royal Palm? How much real estate? I showed it to you.
Yeah, you said he sold like
$700. No.
Crazy.
Can you grab the brochure out of my office? It's the big blue brochure in my office. You can go to Sam. Grab the big blue brochure out of my office. It's going to be a nice advertisement for him. Big blue brochure out of my office that has Royal Palm properties. You'll see it.
He was the guy in Royal Palm.
$737 million of homes sold in one community.
Wow.
In one community.
In 1 year.
In 1 year. In 12 months. Okay, in 12 months, in 1 year, almost everybody you run into here, when you talk to them, how you doing? How you doing? So where are you from? Jersey. Where are you from? New York. Where are you from? Yeah. Why? Why would I stay in New York? I love New York, but why would I stay there? New York's the only place I go to for vacation. Okay, here it is. This is thank you. This is the Royal Palm community. I'm hoping I said the number right. Okay, I don't know if I got the name right.
Yeah, you got it.
Yep, his name is David. Okay, how much did he sell? $737 million from January 1st to December 31st. Okay, we're talking about in a 2-year period, he sold $737 million. Why? People are leaving. They're leaving New York to come here, okay? People are leaving California. You go to Texas, how many people were your neighbors when you talk to? Where are you from? California. Where are you from? California. Where are you from? California. There are people that don't want to leave California.
Yeah.
There are people that just want to make sure California improves. There are people that are so deep-rooted, they're like, listen, man, I don't want to leave this place. I want to stay here. I just don't want this guy to be my governor. And I want policies to change. There is that community that's sick of it, right? Out of the 1.4 million votes that he got for the recall, a third are moderate Democrats. We talked about it last time. And it's getting very close. If it's getting to this point here that this is going to be taking place, it wouldn't be a nice thing for him to take place, because many of the Democrats, when they're looking at their lineup of who could be the potential future president, he's on that list. He's on a list of a future president. Just so you know. Oh, absolutely.
He's on the list.
Are you kidding me? He's on a top 5. He's on a short list of somebody that could be. He looks like it. He has California. He has got that raspy voice.
He's a very gruff voice.
But he's a track. You ever see him giving the answers, the way he talks? Like
he's polished.
He knows the game. He's been in the game.
He looks the part.
He looks the part, but he talks. The whole game he knows, right?
He's a politician.
He's a politician. I don't know if this is going to be a good look for him if he ever runs for office. I don't think this is going to be a good look. The recall. No way. I don't think it's going to be a good look for him if he gets the recall.
How many people do you know that signed that recall?
A lot.
Really?
Oh, a lot.
How many people do you know that says, no, that's my guy? I would never.
A few.
You do?
A few.
Okay.
I actually
Because you got roots in California. You know
I
thousands of people there.
Oh, a few people that say, no, I think it's okay. I think we should let him go. He's not as bad as Trump. He's not as bad as this. He's not as bad as that. At least he's not Cuomo, where he let, he didn't give the right facts about people being in old folks' home, or, and people died, nursing homes. At least he didn't do that. It's all about at least. So there is that community.
They're giving him the benefit of the doubt.
But a lot of people are sick of it.
Do you think there's an underground, like the people that are voting to recall him, is it kind of the same underground that started flocking behind Trump in 2016, like the silent majority?
Look, I got a call from one of my mentors, advisors, very successful president of a multi-$100 billion company, and he's in his 70s. And we had a great conversation together. He says, look, in life, here's how it works. He says, you're going to have battles. There's going to be little fights that happens all the time with you and somebody, with you and family, with you and a friend, with you and all that stuff. He says the goal is to try to get the battles to be done. Somebody wins, you move on. Everybody goes about their business, right? He says then there's wars. When there is a war, you have to know that every country has to defend themselves, okay? I have to defend me, you have to defend you, and there's going to be some casualties at the end of the war. No matter what. If you go to war, there's casualties. He said then there's nuclear wars. When it's nuclear wars, it lasts a long time, and the amount of blood in your hands is going to be a lot. Last 12 months politically was a nuclear war. And the way they went after Trump, it doesn't end there. It's not like there's no residual effects to it.
It's still going on right now.
Oh, buddy, it's nothing. It's nothing. The residual effects of the last 12 months is not a 1-year residual effect. The residual effects of the last 12 months is a 10, 20-year residual effects. Are you kidding me? Let me put it to you this way. The residual effects of the last 12 months could be 25-year effects of a Barron Trump type of residual effect. Like, you have to know, you offended my dad? So this, what they did last year may be like, hey, it's called, oh yeah, so you did that to Trump? We're going to do this to Newsom. We're going to do this. So they started a nuclear war.
The seas have been sowed.
And it's not, you took Trump off, watch how long it takes until the next Dem president. And what are you going to say? No. So they started a nuclear war. And now they're impeaching. Who in the world cares about a former president being impeached? Like, let me say this one word. Like, okay, it's like saying, I'm going to fire an old employee that I've already let go of. What are you talking about? So you understand, like, you came, you served your 6 months, your 12 months. A year later, I want to change it from that you just did your time and your contract, you wrapped it up. No, I want to change it to I fired you. What are you talking about? No one in the world cares about a former president being impeached. Move on. He's a former one-term president. What's worse than being a one-term president? How many one-term presidents do we have?
That's been impeached twice.
You know what it is to be a one-term president? What's worse than a one-term president? Jimmy Carter, one term. Senior, one term. There is nothing worse than being a one-term president. Nothing for a president.
So are you saying they should not even pursue any of the legal actions?
No, it's already bad enough. But since they're doing it, they just have to be prepared for the nuclear war in the world of politics.
Are you saying that they should? I'm not saying that this is. This is conversation right here. Should they not pursue what's good? Because they just started this, second impeachment trial, everything that's going on right there.
Should they or should they not?
Yeah.
It's not should they or should they not. Okay. A long time ago, I had to, in my 20s, it was always about, no, but they're wrong. No, but they're wrong. No, but they're wrong. It's like, listen, after plenty of books to read and mentors, counsel, all this stuff, dude, you don't need to win everything. Certain things, you just got to let go of it. This is not worth it. This is embarrassing to them.
Why do you think they're going after him so viciously?
I think it's a little too much. I think it's like proving a point. He's the first to be impeached twice.
Do you think there's any part of it where they're trying to make sure that he's barred from running again?
I think that's the big
one. Trying to put the nail in the coffin.
100% that's it. But I tell you one thing. I talked to Oliver North yesterday or 2 days ago. Yesterday, I talked to Oliver North, and I said, who's your number one candidate for 2024? He said, Mike Pence. I said, okay. I said, do you think Trump should run in 2024? He said, no, absolutely not. He says, they're going to destroy his businesses. They're going to go after him. He says, what he needs to be focused on right now is to take care of his family, because it's going to be pretty ugly. This is Oliver North. You'll see. Prefacing.
And by the way, I'm familiar with Oliver North.
Yeah. Iran-Contra affair.
That's what he's famous for.
He talks about it openly.
He's a former general. What was he exactly?
Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North.
Famous in the early 80s. When was the Iran-Contra?
81, 84, like that era.
Reagan's second term.
He was famous for a big trial on Capitol Hill.
Yep.
For those of you that are not familiar.
5 people got arrested.
For those,
5 people were not arrested, guilty.
Okay.
So he was one of them. Poindexter, I think, was another one. Of 5 CIA agents and a couple other names.
This is like the equivalent. I'm not exact, but like this is a Watergate-ish Benghazi type in the news.
Yes.
Type of.
It was
like holy moly, Oliver North on trial.
Yeah. So it was a $30 million money that they got to work with, I think, a country that they were protecting,
Nicaragua.
a country, Nicaragua, but it's a small region of it.
Nicaragua.
And they took out of that 13. Again, you can go verify this. 18 million to buy weapons for Iran and give weapons to, so it was a very interesting thing that took place.
And this is also on the tail end of the Cold War. So you have the whole Russia or communism versus capitalism and the ideological fight as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so the whole challenge is, Oliver North said, I don't think he needs to run. I think he needs to just take care of his family. But the point I'm trying to make here was Newsom, I'm not surprised. You cause a nuclear war. So when you cause a nuclear war, there's going to be a few what? Casualties. Newsom's going to be one of them. Period. Newsom is a casualty because of the nuclear war. And I think they knew they were going to have casualties. I think they knew they were going to have casualties. This, if it happens, you potentially eliminated one of your future presidents.
And
he's a high draft pick, by the way. Very high draft pick.
He's a top 5 candidate. I see what you're saying. And the thing with, as with anything, it's a lot of it has to do with optics, right? So, again, like we said, polished, good looking, kind of looks like Christian Bale's character in American Psycho, hair gel, kind of. But when he's shutting down all the wineries,
and he goes himself,
and then he apparently owns a winery, and you own a winery, bro. Oh, his one winery is open, and he's there drinking in a French laundromat restaurant party.
No social distancing, like you're getting.
It's very easy to be like, get this douchebag out of here. It's just very easy to feel that.
But I think that's the word, though. I think that's a word to describe it. And look, you knew folks like that in high school who liked guys like that. Behind closed doors, you're like, dude, just stop. You're so annoying, right? Get over yourself, buddy. You're not as amazing as you think you are. It's a little annoying the way you are.
As a Californian.
By the way, if you're watching this, I'm actually curious. Right now, we have 178 thumbs up, 233 thumbs up, 1 thumb down, okay? I'm curious if you're watching this. Recall, thumbs up. Smash thumbs up if you say he needs to get out, we need to recall. And we need to move on and get a Shamat or somebody else. No, he's doing a good job. Let's keep him in there. Press thumbs down. I'm curious. Thumbs up, out. Thumbs down, it's fine. Let's just keep him in there. Continue. You were saying something.
As a Californian, because you keep obviously a closer tab on California politics, who do people in California dislike more, Newsom or LA Mayor Eric Garcetti?
It's not even a question on how it is. I mean, Newsom's on that list number 1 because Newsom's a governor. It's an unfair. It's like saying who do people like more, a high school basketball player or an NBA player? Newsom is a NBA player. Newsom's playing in the big leagues. 1 of 50. How many mayors you got in America? Of course, it's a bigger mayor.
Mayor of L.A.
I get it, but Garcetti, Bloomberg, it's
And I also
it's Newsom.
It's not even close.
No.
Okay.
I also think the influence, like Newsom probably influences Garcetti more than Garcetti influences.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. And by the way, Garcetti's a more yes sir person. Yeah. Bloomberg is not. De Blasio is not. No. De Blasio fights Cuomo. Cuomo's like, dude, what are you talking about? Let the Amazon people come and put their jobs here. No, it's not fair. It's like, dude, what is the matter with you, right? So Garcetti and Newsom are on the same page. De Blasio and Cuomo, they're not on the same page. So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.